PTSD, post-traumatic stress symptoms, critical incident stress, and indirect exposure to trauma. So, you know, it comes all in that order, you know, with the post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what you, is this what you label me as?
No,
Yeah.
stop playing with me, Dr.
Oh, I'm just checking. I want you to know, I know it when I see it. Yeah, but I don't know what it means.
That's the 5 though, we don't
Okay,
change
fine,
that.
okay, post-traumatic stress. You know, I own up to my stuff. I do. In this training, I try to be humorous, I'm serious. Can you see? Okay. You know, empathetic, strain, secondary traumatic stress symptoms, vicarious traumatization, and compassion fatigue. We get there, because I want to make sure we have enough time to do what I need to do. Okay, so the vicarious trauma toolkit model, work-related trauma exposure, vicarious change in worldviews, spectrum of responses, the negative, and it goes to the neutral and the positive. You know, how many of y'all know what vicarious trauma means? If you don't, it's okay. If you don't, I'll tell you.
The word vicarious means like a smart, right?
Not in the trauma terminology.
Okay.
In the trauma terminology, it means that you're dealing with somebody else's issue. It's vicarious, it's different, it's compatible. That people have so much, you know, issues going on, you know. But in another regular sense, yes, it could mean, yes, vicarious. Yes, it could mean that, you know.
What did you say it could be?
I thought it means somebody that's smart or intelligent.
Vicarious.
Vicarious.
It's more of a transfer of whatever it is, energy or.
Energy, something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
But if you use it in the sense and say that's vicarious, it could mean that. It could mean that. But in the trauma, that means somebody else's issues that you're dealing with. So vicarious means that, you know, I'm transfer. It could mean you could be dealing with transfer of guilt. You know, how somebody else feel a certain way and they try to convince you that you're that person.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, but, yeah, she, you know, 6 in one hand, he looking it up. Yeah, he looking it up. I'm glad you're looking it up.
It could be a form of intellect or smart.
Yes, that's what he said. Changing the worldview, the transformation, change in the helpless, inexperience as a result of responsibility for empathetic engagement, traumatization of clients. And it said, it shifts in now, we view the world, view others, and sense of danger around us, right? And this just go on and talks about secondary traumatic stress, natural consequence behaviors and emotions resulting from knowing about a traumatization event experienced by another. The stressor resulting from helping or wanting to help a traumatized or suffering person. So it goes back to the question. We almost done. It goes back to the question. She holding her head up. So what does that mean? Through nonverbal communication. What does that mean?
Overwhelmed.
Could she be burnt out?
Yeah.
Okay. The combination of physical, emotional, spiritual depletion associated with caring for patients and significant emotional pain and physical stress. Now, please, I don't want you to think I'm justifying it, but when in the nursing home, because my mom died of wrongful death in the nursing home, neglect. So when they giving one patient 30, one person 30 patients, and they expect for them to do that job.
Very stressful.
Right.
Burn out.
Right. Well, not only burnout, you know, I had a friend of mine, and I looked at that person in a different way. My god sister was telling me she has an invalid sister, and she told me how she beats the lady. I said, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. I said, what did you do? What did you do about it? Now, this person, I have a great deal of respect for. But if she did it in front of me, Sister Martin, what you think I would do?
You would say something, tell that parent and you would
Exactly.
definitely tell them that.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. You have a question?
Yeah, so with this, excuse me, compassion fatigue, right? So it's more like if the person is experiencing fatigue, all of their, excuse me, all of their emotional drain came from dealing with the person.
Yeah. In the environment. You need water, you got water. In the environment.
Like, for example, for officers, we take on so much, we see so much, and it can be overwhelming, tiresome, a burnout for us as well. So, that's
Especially
the-
someone like you who really cared too, because it literally said that like physical and emotional, like you mentioned the people that you work up on the neighborhood, they're going through something. You know what I mean? Excuse me, like a lady, who you could kind of redirect off the problem. I know, you know what I'm saying, there's so much, you could be desensitized, but you can see that you're not. So for somebody like you, I'm sure it probably is kind of overwhelming. You just see it, oh, like lady with the sword, you know, you just see it over and over and over. Yeah, so
Yeah.
imagine that.
The environment, how many of y'all, get you the point, you don't wanna go to jail, you don't wanna go to work.
Me.
You don't wanna go to work. Huh?
I'm gonna go to work. Well, listen, I can't work for people. Do you love your job?
Sure she does.
I love my job, but eventually, otherwise, I have to do something.
You can see in her action she loves her job,
I
yeah.
love this one, sir. But I know you definitely love it. For sure, I saw the first hand. Right, yeah. Especially here around here, it's just so much. There's so many different people.
It talks about, can I have my class back? It talks about the examples of vicarious traumatization, personal, physical, emotional, behavior, spiritual, cognitive, and relational. So it comes in that order. You know, I told you before, the rapid, pulse breathing, headaches, impaired immune system, fatigue, aches. So if your body aching and you haven't did any physical work, have you ever talked with people when you got finished and made your head hurt?
Regular.
Sister Martin, so-and-so on the phone, tell them I call them later. Have you ever met people like that? My mom was like that. She would call me and tell me all her nieces and nephews' problems and all the negative stuff. And I said, you know what? You ain't depositing it in my spirit. I don't want to hear it. Because we're going to go over that together, Officer Hammond. I know, you already know. You already know. And this is just something that's ordinary that they give to me to give to the people in the community when it comes to the civilian review board, because I used to sit on that too. I used to sit on the board where they actually hired officers for the neighborhood service community. Doc, what you think? And I asked the police officer the same thing I asked you. Why do you do what you do? You want to be heavy-handed or why you know? And they give me good answers. You know, so same thing. Examples of vicarious traumatization, professional performance, morale, relational behavior. You know, you can go down the list. The last one, you know, calling out, arriving late, overwork, exhaustion, irresponsibility, poor following the group.
Right now, arriving late.
Yeah. You see yourself in there? You see that's you? Well, you got work on that. My sister practiced being late on purpose. And I can't deal with it. I said, why was you? We had to have a meeting in the nursing home about my mom. I said, why were you late? Well, you know, I had to stop and get me some cigarettes. And I said, what's more important, your mother or some cigarettes? But you can't change people's behavior. But my motto, this is just Dr. Humphrey's motto, if you can change a person's thought process and change a person's way of thinking, you can change their behavior. Do you believe that?
Absolutely.
And I put it through the test. You had a question? No, I put it through the test when I would have to take the young kids at Charles Hickey School off campus. down the harbor, and they told me, I'm gonna run. I said, go ahead. I ain't running after you. I see you when they bring you back. And they was over. Pastor, you really care? Yeah. Letting you know I ain't in shape, I ain't running after you. I see you when I see you. But children know who to play games with. The greatest manipulators you ever want to find. Okay, this is something else where you contemplating the effects when you're trying to complete a task. Personal effects of physical behavior, emotional, spiritual, cognitive, relation, professional effects, performance, morale, relation, behavior. When you're doing something around a group of people and the morale is down, Mr. Kent never could because he never tried. The 7 daily words that'll kill the church. Pastor, we ain't never do it this way before. Oh no, I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, you, all of y'all go home. Because you already have in your mind. You defeated your own purpose. And this is how you know when people is worshiper of the devil. You trying to do something positive. Sister Marty, if I was you, I would do that. Because my aunt Susie or my aunt Alberta Twinkle told me she tried that 40 years ago and she wasn't successful. And you know what you tell them? May the Lord be with you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Get them out your circle. Because everybody coming to your circle not going to be for you. Right? So he's burned out. What are you working on something? A car? What are you working on? He's burned out. Whatever he's doing. He doing what?
Looks like it's a medic.
Yeah, medic or the bed, okay. Burned out though. Risk factors. Personal, trauma history, pre-existing psychological disorders, young age, isolation, inadequate support system loss in the last 12 months, and personal, lack of quality supervision. Let me see, because I'm going to stop at a certain time. What is self-care? What do you do for self-care?
Take time for
Give out hugs.
Meditation.
Like massages.
Radio. He has his own radio show and podcast.
Radio, podcast,
And
taxi talk.
yeah, taxi talk. And he loves the media.
Yeah.
Media junkie. Drive.
There's no video games.
Nothing wrong with that. When the world gets on my shoulders, I have to get into the word. I have to stay grounded. Because if I don't, people say, Dr. Humphrey, what comes up, comes out. No, you have control of what you say out your mouth. Because if you take me there, in the past, right? See, I come in peace. Now, however you come at me, that's your choice. But I come in peace. Because nowadays you can't approach everybody. I know when I was younger, you could go to parents and say, Johnny did this and that. We used to have a lady living in my block. If you did something to one of her children there, and there was about 12, 13 of them, they would invite you in the house and everybody jump on you. But that's what they did. So you got to know who you can talk to. You can't talk to everybody. So what is self-care? Self-care is what people do for themselves to establish and maintain health and to prevent and deal with illness. It is a broad concept of compassion, hygiene, general and personal, nutrition. How many of y'all eat good? Nutrition, type and quality of food, lifestyle, sporting activities, leisure, et cetera, environmental factors, living conditions, social behavior, psychoeconomic factors, income level. We know about Brooklyn. They feel like everybody has abandoned them. But can we make a difference? Absolutely. We all can make a difference. Okay, personal self-care, ensure eating healthy. But say, he's sleeping on the job, Officer Ham.
Self-care.
Is that self-care?
Yeah, he tired. Take a break.
On the job?
Just finished eating healthy.
On the job.
He might not be in the job, he might have pulled
He in that ambulance.
Might be on.
Yeah, he just sitting there comfortable though.
Let me see how many more I have to go. Knowledge and process, comparison, satisfaction, workouts, self-care. Self-care isn't everything. Black Car Strong is an occupational challenge for those working with trauma survivors. Okay. Organization had ethical mandate of a duty to train, where workers are taught about the potential negative effects of the work and how to cope. Yeah, so basically that's what you learn today is how to cope. You know, what do you do when you're in an environment and people are traumatized? Everybody is crazy but you. So what do you do? And this is just being repeated and saying the same thing. Key aspects of healthy organization, you know, the leadership, the mission, effective leadership, clarity, and alignment with the mission. Your vision should want to be able to train an elementary school person that they can see this and they can relate. You are relatable. And there's some other trainings that I had that's very clinical that I would recommend because it's something that we put together at John Hopkins because they believe in the theory in the book. If you talk back to your mother and your juvenile and you violent, put them on Prozac, put them on Ritalin. So they kind of come with that theory. But when you come out of the hood and it's called urban, I should say discipline, urban trauma syndrome, thank you. That means that you're seeing so much violence in deplorable conditions, there's no resources that, I saw on Facebook, y'all might have saw it, the lady say, the reason why the rent is so cheap here, they ran back in the house. So it goes with the territory. Strategies, creating a healthy work environment, organization cultures, and I'm gonna, let me see, peer support. Teach effective communication skills, encourage trusting and mutual relationships, model conflict resolution, emphasize collaboration and teamwork. How many of y'all know teamwork makes the dream work? When somebody always talk about what they did, the three cousins, me, myself, and I get away from it. There's no big eyes and little U's in teamwork. And if you can do it better, I'm with you, partner. If you can do it better, I'm with you. If you're making the team look good, if you want to play the ball and you want to keep it to yourself and you don't want to pass it to me, then we got to talk. We might have a locker room battle, but we got to talk. And you got people like that. Y'all remember the movie with David Ruffin when he started tripping? They come to see me. Yeah. I'm David Ruffin. People get that way. They think that they're indispensable, that they can't be replaced. So when somebody have a good idea, always have an opening here. But I can tell you now, if you bring me good ideas and they keep fluking and they don't work, don't keep coming to me and say, I want to try this. But then I know you don't know what you're doing, okay? Seriously, I gave Brother Wallace a task today. He called up at Morgan for me, and he got some results. You got my back, Officer Hank? See that?
I got my back. I got your back. I got your back.
Repeat it. Let me tell you back. Repeat it.
Oh, I got your whole
Yeah, repeat it. I heard y'all saying it. Repeat it. You saying
I got
like
your
you
back.
repeat it. That's pretty weak.
I got your back. I got your back. I got your back.
There you go.
I got the whole staff.
There you go. There you go. What happens when an organization don't address vicarious trauma? Loss of productivity, decreased morale, cohesive, communication, collaboration, quality of service, poor organizational health, erosion, concentration, focus, decision making, motivation, performance, staff turnover. When you see somebody that nobody don't want to follow, if a person, man, boy, girl, say they're a leader and they don't have no followers, they're just a good person to take the walk. You don't need a title to be a leader. Say, I know I'm a leader.
Absolutely.
I ain't hear you say it.
I know I'm a leader.
I know I'm a leader.
I know I'm a leader.
I'm getting followed now because I'm.
I know I'm a leader.
I know I'm a leader.
See how Officer Hampton, she know which lane to switch in. So when I go in the Eastern District, I ain't coming in there running nothing. They got a major for that. You know, I'm in their house. You know, that's the way it is. But you have some people, they think they can go everywhere and just do things their way. No, you can't do that. And in order to be a good leader, you have to follow. And if you want to give orders, you got to be able to take orders. Our first responders bear witness to damage and cruel treatment experienced by others, shattering in any assumptions of invulnerability. So, everything else, we went through everything. I gave you everything. I gave you everything that was on this in the time. The other ones are normally 4 hours. It's really 4 hours to this training because you get to learn how to become a trauma responder, community trauma responder, and then I'll put you with my partner. A lot of folk don't want to do a ride along, but I'll tell you, that's the best experience you ever get because you get to see an officer in motion.
Especially with this officer.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, that it was so nice.
Right.
I'm gonna do another one today.
Officer Ham is here because she knows what we do and we are a good fit. You know, and if you deal with Officer Ham, I want you to have integrity because if you don't have no integrity, don't say you represent me. If you tell her you're going to do something, well, if you don't do it and she tell me, you know, I'm going to have a little power out with you. Because recommending people for jobs or giving people, describing somebody else's character, you can't vouch for nobody else's action. You can vouch for their character. But if we send people her way to work with her because we love what she does, going into schools and all that, and we want to do more. So if you want to be a part of what we do, even though all of y'all are Sister Martin's folk, it makes me no difference because we're in this together. So, you know, you can fill out this form, you can give it back to her, you don't have to give it to me. You can put on there you want to do more trauma training, or, you know, you want to work with Determine Your Destiny, and if you want to do, highlight your work with the trauma team, you want to come on the podcast, let's put it all together and we'll make it happen. Does that sound good? Because I appreciate you coming out on a Friday night. Can you hit that light for me, brother?